which are the areas that Atmanirbhar that we are talking about? Which are the areas that we are focusing in this budget? Mainly that we are focusing on semiconductor. You know what happened to semiconductor? That that's where we are having difficulty in procuring it. All the countries have become suddenly very restrictive because of the tariff barriers, because of the barriers which they created, like China has created and US has created. Biopharma. We had a problem with China. Our 70% of the active pharmaceutical ingredients are imported from China. So we never had a facility. We have a lot of pharma companies which are using the APA from China, but we don't have a facility. So we are going to have a biopharma Shakti. That means APA will be, that means active pharma ingredients will be produced in India. Similarly, high-tech tools. You remember that all these highways, we have the cranes and the bulldozers and kind of all the boring machines for the metro. So much of infrastructure going on. Do you know 90% of the machines are from where? Imported from abroad. So we don't have this high-tech tools for constructing high towers. If you have a tower of 40 floors and 50 floors, you have the metro construction, you have a huge bridge construction, you have construction of undersea cable laying. All that we don't have the structure. So high-tech tools room is being set up there. That is also with collaboration with the companies in Europe and US. Scheme for container manufacturing. This is the one area where we have been spending a lot of money. Because the container, we don't have container manufacturing, but India has a big export and import market for containers. So the empty containers used to come from who owns the container? And I was paying a rental for the container. From where? China it is coming, in Korea and from Taiwan. Everywhere the container is coming. Positioning an empty container from Europe or UK or US or wherever we have the markets, bring it India, one ship will come full of empty containers. So now they decided that it is no longer viable. I am going to have the empty container production in India. So the Indian containers, you must have seen all the containers, Evergreen and some of those which are Xinjiang and all that is manufactured outside India. Now this container is going to be produced in India so that you are having a control over. You don't have to pay the dead charges of importing the empty containers. Then textiles, that's one of the major exports that we wanted to do. The electronic component, that's another area where we have import substitution. Domestic manufacture, high value construction infrastructure. This is what I told you. A lot of construction of the high value technical equipment that we need. 200 legacy industrial clusters which have been there earlier. Now that have become defunct, like Hosur is one of those, Krishnagiri, Dharmaburi. We had virtually industrial clusters in every district that we had. Now they are reviewing those kind of legacy industrial corridors by making it active again. Affordable sports goods, that's one area there where quality sports goods we are importing. I don't know how many of you know. You play any big game, I think that we don't have a good manufacturer, a good tennis racket, or a good golf equipment, or good shuttle equipment, or even good cricket balls, except this, few areas that we have expertise. A lot of other areas we're importing. So that is an area where government is creating some manufacturing facility. And chemical parks to have the domestic production. Rare earth, all of you know, that's where we had a lot of problems of getting the rare. Everybody has banned the purchase of it. India is negotiating with China. China says, you better sign end user policy. I'm not going to sell it to somebody. And these rare magnets are necessary for everything from automobile to refrigerator to every electronic good. These magnets are necessary. And we are now tied down to this. 90% of those products are manufactured from China and exported to the country. So now we started making it as a production hub. We are joining the American Alliance for producing the rare earth. We have also given some 30,000 crore for developing the capacity to produce the rare magnets and rare earths.
Thank you.